Welcome to the 2025 Economic Depression and Preparation Channel. Milson, thank you for joining me on this weekend edition, September 6, 2025. We're going to be talking about this economy and how gold could hit record highs as well as silver as the Federal Reserve Bank next meeting comes after next weekend. They're going to be widely considered to drop interest rates. By how much we do not know, but it is going to have an effect on precious metals going up. All precious metals going up, as well as Bitcoin will be going up as a result of this anticipated rate cut before the end of the month. Also, we're going to be talking about how more Americans are flocking to dollar stores and thrift stores to get the latest deals and buying a lot of and recycling a lot of items around the household as this inflation continues to rein in spending for a lot of American middle class, lower class, and other classes of people who are cutting back on spending. So we're going to talk about how the jobs report came out this past Thursday. And of course, as you know, this labor market is struggling, adding just 54,000 jobs in August here, according to ADP data. So that means that we're slowing down. The hiring is slowing down. And also, but the firing is increasing and more Americans are retiring early or getting another second career or third side hustle to continue to make do in this economy that's changing here as it continues. Unemployment also rate jumps to a 4-year high, ladies and gentlemen. As we continue to see these numbers increase, we're going to see more and more pressure on this labor market here. And so we're going to look through that first. Let's start off with the gold prices here. As you know, gold is above $3,600 an ounce here. We also know that there's also concern about silver going above $40 an ounce finally after so many years, right? So Goldman Sachs says gold can hit $5,000. $5,000 gold can hit here as fears grow over Federal Reserve's independence here. And so the independence is causing question here. The precious metal has rallied 35% this year to more than 3,500 per troy ounce, as I said, making it one of the world's best performing major assets here. Gold is traditionally seen as a hedge against inflation, as you know. And so, if they know, and everyone knows, if Fed Chair Jerome Powell starts beginning to drop these rates and we go back to quantitative easing, as they call it, we probably won't go back to rates near zero again ever. Unless sub 3% mortgages ever. But we are going to go see these rates drop, and that's going to mean that the confidence in the U.S. dollar is going to be dwindling around the world, and the BRICS nations are going to be increasing. So gold and silver is looking pretty good right now. Now, the dollar store draws in more shoppers, according to Yahoo Finance, making 6 figures as Americans across all income levels, or some income levels, look to save here. Now, we all know that the Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar, etc., Five and Below, stores like that, we all know that things in there are not exactly quote unquote a dollar. We know that the price inflations have hit them too as they get these cheap Chinese products over and abroad, and that's fine and dandy. But they are a blessing, such a blessing for those of us who don't have a Walmart, a Super Walmart, or a Target, or a or Aldi's or Lidl or any of these stores. The Dollar Tree and Dollar General, you can find that in most major hinterland and subland cities. You can find a Dollar Tree or Dollar General. So sales growth are strong. They're good bets on for stock. The stocks are looking pretty good here for Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar, etc. Strength in electronics, hardware, lawn and garden, and food led the same increase, while Dollar Tree expanded its multi-price strategy with price points like $1.35, $3, and $5 in home decor items. Dollar Tree stock fell 8% following its results, though its stock is still up 35% this year, guys. So there may be an opportunity there. I'm not a financial advisor, but Dollar Tree stock is looking pretty good right now, and many people expected that the cyclicals, the consumer cyclicals here, continue to be impact here. So there's something to look out for as well between Dollar Tree and Dollar General. And they are building a lot of new stores. Like I said, the store growth, if you look at it, they are building a lot and expanding, taking over a lot of the vacant strip malls. You'll see the Dollar General and Dollar Tree will move into those vacant strip malls. And you see that they'll build standalone stores as well next to either, a gas station or a storage unit. You'll see them, a new storage place, they'll build them in tandem there. So I noticed that trend in a lot of suburbs and other cities and hinterland. So now to the bad news. We had the U.S. unemployment rate jumps to nearly 4-year high as weak job creation in August tees up the Fed rate cut. So we have jobless rate claims that the official numbers say 4.3%. We know that the unofficial numbers are around 11.5%, according to shadowstats.com. It's the highest since 2021, just after the pandemic, post-pandemic. Economy generates just 22,000 jobs, less than a third than the consistency. This is the August job reports here. Look, we only have 22,000 jobs. Unemployment is starting to tick up here to 4.3%. And I told you before, ladies and gentlemen, that I believe the unemployment rate before the end of this year is going to be above 5%, somewhere between 5.2 and 5.5% at the end of December. So just look out for that as well. We look at the industries. Construction, no surprise there, losing jobs. Manufacturing, wholesale, losing jobs, no surprise there. Information and technology, professional business, white collar jobs, lost a lot of jobs here. Government, lost a lot of jobs, no surprise there. Education and leisure and hospitality and transportation and warehousing and retail trade have been holding up the 22,000 jobs here that we got here for the month of August here, previous month of August here. And you can see the average hourly pay here has ticked down just a little bit to 3.7% here, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So a lot of pressures on the economy with job losses and wages stagnating for the majority of Americans working, and that's not a good sign. So the ADP says here, according to CNBC.com, the labor market growth slows dramatically in August, with the U.S. adding just 54,000 jobs, ADP says. Now, the private sector hiring rose less than expecting too. You would think the private sector hiring would step in and, fill in these voids, but with AI, automation, and with all these quiet quitting all throughout all the multi-generations that are working right now. Remember, we only have 165 million eligible workers in the United States of America out of the 350 million people that we have total and above the age of 18 to 25, significantly cool for the prior period. So private payrolls did increase by just only 54,000 in August. That's well short of the 75,000 estimate from economists polled by Dow Jones. So we have to continue to revise these numbers downward. And it's almost as if, like I said, these companies here at these recruiting events are just collecting resumes, either online or offline, and for a database. They're not actually hiring. They may hire only 1/16 of the applicants that they actually interview on the phone or a panel interview or whatever interview, the kind of interview style that you do. It's not a good sign here. Let me know what you think in the comments. What is going to trigger this recession? Will it be hyperinflation, or will it be just an overwhelming amount of job loss that people are not going to be spending the kind of money in these retail sales or in these other sales no more, and it's going to drag the economy down? Because remember, 2/3 of the U.S. economy, right, is consumer spending. That's over 75% is based on spending and debt creation. The more debt creation, the more money is spent, the more the U.S. economy is propped up. Not just the U.S. economy, but I would say the Western economies. The G8 nations, European, the ECB in tandem, the UK, all those economies on tandem work with spending that dollar. So if you're not spending, then you have to look at that more sharply here. So tell me, what are you doing? What are you doing to prepare for this economic slowdown here in the comments here? And are you investing in precious metals or Bitcoin, or are you more investing in real hard tangible assets like land, oil, food, pepper supplies, gardening, seeds, stuff like that you can barter with when times continue to get rough? Now, we're still blessed. We're still blessed that here America's still the greatest country, one of the greatest countries in the world, along with many others, okay? And we're still far ahead of where we should be at this time, because many people thought it would collapse, the whole economy would collapse back in 2008, back in 2001. So we've had plenty of junctures here where this thing could have went really, really nasty. So we've been blessed that we haven't had, the severe downturn that many economists and other people have been fearing. But it is going to be a slowdown. It is going to be a long, draw-out slowdown here as we get closer to that 2030 date. As you know, the 2030 project and all these things that are going on, these different things you see online. And I believe there is going to be a transition, and that's what it's going to take. It's going to be a slow hump to that point, and we're getting there slowly but surely with over $37 trillion in debt creation. So let me know in the comments what you think. God bless. Enjoy your weekend. Get out some fresh air. Family, enjoy food, family, friends, loved ones, cohorts. Continue to prepare mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally as we continue to go through this economic recession and slowdown here in the Western world. God bless. I'll talk to you very soon. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, because I want you to get notifications. Some people are not getting the notifications when videos are coming out. Hit that like and subscribe. I'll talk to you soon. God bless. Take care.